Hey, this is Kent Roth. This is Chapter 2, Building Earth and Stars in the year 2100. Basically, the planet Earth is just a simple sphere. It's actually two spheres. One sphere is, let's go to wireframe. Okay. We have a black outline here, and that's the atmosphere. So I have two spheres, one that's inside of the larger one, which is the sphere that is the atmosphere. And let's click on planet atmosphere, and you can see here in the materials tab, this is the preview for the materials, that it's transparent. So I have a transparent shader here, this one here, and its color is just a light blue, and I have it set to about 25% transparency. Here's the planet selected, it's highlighted, and then the atmosphere is black. All right, you can see one is actually inside of the other. In the preview here, you can see that there's a tiny little Earth, and it has continents and water. Here in the compositing section of Blender, I'm working with Pro 4 Planet Generator. This is a pre-made node by Remington Graphics. He's a young digital artist, and he was nice enough to share all of his nodes that he's created. So if I just let it render here for a few seconds. This is actually just a render preview. I mean, it's very close to what the original will look like, and it gives me some approximation of that I'm in the right direction when I'm building something. Okay. All right, there's a lot of different parameters that we can work with this node. Let me move in close so you guys can see. We have mountain scale, so let's just see what this does here when it comes to, all right, now go down to 0, close to 0. It's hard to tell. All right, let's go in a little bit closer. Okay. So I had the mountain set about 6.8-ish. Okay, let's just go with 7. Mountain height and cloud scale. So this will scale your clouds to be thicker and more fluffy. Okay, and cloud density. Okay, that'll make less light going through them, and also more dense and more fluffy. And then cloud opacity, it's just, okay, this goes up to pretty high. Okay, so you really can change how your clouds look, and depending on, the only thing you can't do is you can't animate them to make them move. Okay, the continent detail and the continent size. Okay, so I'm just going to put it up to 1. And you're going to see that there's a lot more continent and a lot less water. Okay. Now, because in my story, the polar ice caps melted, all right, I wanted more water and less continent. So I just sort of went, you know, there's 0, and then that would be a lot of water, mainly all blue. So I just went halfway, and then the continent detail I found really, it only went up to 16, so I put it around 8. Now these colors here were all the colors of the continent, so I could just click on that, and there we go. We have plenty of colors and shades. Okay, so I'm going to bring that down a little Good. And I want these here to be a little bit darker. And let's make the ocean color just a little bit deeper. And like that. A nice deep blue. And the mountain color, I'm just going to make that just a tad darker. This is the animation section of Earth and Stars. And as you can see, this is just cycling through a simple animation. Was a ending shot where it's pulling out real close and starting out as a close shot in the clouds. And I just want to talk a little bit about the timeline and how that works with creating an animation. So you can see that it's cycling through, and the yellow green marker that's going from left to right, that represents frames, you know, starting out from 0 to whatever you prefer. Okay, and I'm working at 24 frames per second. There's the full animation, and I'm going to go over the process of how to create what is called a keyframe animation. In keyframe animation, we have a keyframe at this line here and this line here. So there's one at frame 0, and then there's one at frame 120. Let's go to the top view. Okay. And the item that's being animated is the actual camera. This represents the camera that actually is rendered. And you can see if I scrub through here, it goes off there, goes to there. All right. Now if I want to create a keyframe, if I want to pull this to here and make it more of an arc, so that's going to be at frame 56. So I'm going to go down to here where there is a little key and click that, and up top successfully added 6 keyframes. And now there's more of an arc to it. Alright. If I wanted to remove that frame, go to remove keyframe. It's successful. There you go. Okay. That's how to create an in-between of a keyframe. Now when I want to go to this is the camera view. This is actually the view that the viewer, the audience, will see, and what will be rendered in the final take. Okay. If I want it to rotate, I can rotate that, and I'm going to rotate it from the Z axis, which would be, let's try the X here. So your X is left and right. Your Y would be vertical, and then Z axis is going towards you. Okay, so there it's going up and down. Or if I want it side to side, and anything that is in that view, so now there is nothing except stars, and there it comes back into view. Okay. And then if I wanted to create a keyframe, all of these are have a color to them because they all have a keyframe. So if they did not have a color and they were gray like the rest of the layout, there would not be any kind of keyframe. So anything that has a keyframe in that has a color has a keyframe attached to it. So that's the basics of keyframe animation.